Ladies, gentlemen, let the show begin. Alright, do you like video games? And I know you do. What about entertainment? We got that to video game. I'm not a video game. Video game. Oh no, what's the name? Video Game Armada. Time for another edition of Let's Review E3 edition, and of course this is the one Tron the Gamer Boss Bronze. E3 came and gone. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I know I did. There are more than plenty enough of games that gives me dreaming at night for one day playing and owning them, as well as some other ones that I'm just gonna probably forget as soon as I say the sentence. And thus, we wrap up E3 with Nintendo. The best for last, as they say. Are they truly the best? Well, that really depends on you and your opinions. Me, I think Nintendo did just fine. But, on the whole, I gotta be honest with myself. Even though I am the ultimate Nintendo fanboy forever and all time, I still think that they did just as good as Sony, but in a different way. I can't say in this year, I can't say they did the very best job they possibly could. Why? Like Sony, they decided to play to their own particular type, the Nintendo type, which is light, colorful, deceptively hard type of gameplay style, but it just didn't have any variety. But there's one other reason which I will address as soon as I'm done with the overall summary. But yeah, the games that they have right now that I seen in their video package, which was Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Kirby 2018, no official title for that yet, Pokken Tournament DX, Metroid Prime 4, which got a lot of people excited. Not me so much. I've never been much big into both Zelda and Metroid for some reason. Quite frankly, they're pretty much the same game, just one's based in fantasy, one's based in sci-fi. But and I like both fantasy and sci-fi, but for some strange reason, I just never ever were my favorite Nintendo properties. I'm a Mario man at heart, so there you go. Metroid 2018, no official title for that yet. Fire Emblem Warriors, which is like Dynasty Warriors with Fire Emblem characters, so there you go. Zelda Breath of the Wild DLCs, the Master Trials, and the Champions of Ballad, Ballad. You know what I'm saying. Rocket League, because indie darling, and of course, the final and probably the best video package of the show, Super Mario Odyssey, with an awesome music arrangement sung by Mayor Pauline herself. You remember Pauline, Mario's first boo? She moved on to become a mayor after he went to the Mushroom Kingdom. Good for her. And she's still smoking hot and got great pipes. So there you go. That's a win-win-win. Also in the video package, we also got to see what stands Super Mario Odyssey away from his other titles. In this game, he could use his new magical hat to take over minions and now can control the minions from inside out. He is like now become the puppet master, and that's amazing. You ever wanted to be a Goomba? Throw that hat, you could become a Goomba. You want to be a hammer brother? Throw that hat, you could chuck hammers all day. Do you want to be the living embodiment of a bullet? Throw a hat at a Bill Bullet and just rocket across the sky. You don't even need wings, you have jet propulsion. That, my friends, is an upgrade. You'll explode, but life as a deadly projectile is often fleeting. You will hit something eventually. And all of these games, that's pretty much it for the video package of their spotlight for E3. These games, except for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, that's it. I'm not counting Rocket League, because indie darling. I'm not counting Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, because they showed that on Ubisoft Day. And that's it. Other than Xenoblade Chronicles 2, that was all the rest of these games were more or less Nintendo branded property. I didn't see any third-party supported titles, which For me, it's not that big of a deal if Nintendo had, again, a well-rounded stock of games to show. But their games were very similar. Cutesy, adorable, simple in a way, but, just plain Nintendo. And I even hate saying this. I really hate saying this. But I know Nintendo's capable of more than just their standard brand of Nintendo goodness. I can't say, PlayStation, you've done dark and gritty and boring throughout your entire show. Shame on you. And then when Nintendo does the opposite, yet the same thing with cutesy, classic, soft, huggable first-party titles, but not have anything well-rounded, something a little darker, perhaps, something more serious, perhaps, maybe even a sports game, more or less. I mean, does anything look like a sports game right here? Rocket League, that's technically still count. That's sort of a sport, but indie darling, so I'm not going to count that. No, it is definitely all Nintendo-based products here, and again, they're all going to be fine. I bet they're going to play amazingly, but they're the same. They're the same, and you need a wide variety of stock, of gaming stock, in order to truly impress the masses out there. Now, it's funny that I say that, because even though I just said that, the masses, you guys at home probably, but if not, someone who's very into video games like myself, consider Nintendo the winner. Even though these games are not exactly stand out, they're not exactly new, they've played similar titles like themselves, like throughout space and time if they ever owned a Nintendo console. So why is that the case? I mean, if nothing else, the Microsoft press conference, which I am now announcing it, winner of the show, for me and anyone else who likes awesome variety of games, really killed it. They had a little bit of everything, and I appreciate that. But people like Nintendo. Their lineup must have really impressed them, because, they saw all the other press conferences as lesser or not as fun or cool, or, this is the most likely reason, or once they were done with their 30-minute, a little over 30-minute E3 press conference, Nintendo kept going with their Treehouse events, which highlighted the games in a more, demo playery fashion, which I did that last year, and I watched the games last year for E3 when they did that, and I liked the play demos on screen, showing me what they're capable of, but they weren't showing me anything else. And those things are great to watch when you're bored or you want to find out about a particular game. But honestly, I can wait until I actually get those games in my hand to play it, and I don't really need to know how they play right away. This year, however, they were smart. Nintendo decided to slide in, let's slide in some more games that are coming out that people want to play. That is going to be awesome. And they didn't show it on their video package? Why? I mean, I'm sure there will be plenty of people who wanted to play Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, plus, there's a plus mode where you get to control Goomba Army to save Bowser. That's amazing. Or Miitopia, where you could take your Mii, remember those? And cast them as a character in your own RPG-like storyline. That's fun too. I just played the demo. I enjoyed that. I want to play more right now, but I gotta wait a couple more weeks till the game goes live. They had other games too. They had another Metroid, which people were super excited and jazzed for. Why didn't they show that in the video package? That is my main complaint, and what prevents me in giving the Nintendo the show of the year. It kills me to say that, but because of the fact that what they showed was just standard Nintendo fare without any real difference or uniqueness, or the fact that what they did have something that's cool and neat, they saved it for the Treehouse events, was a misplay in my book. They really should have led with their best foot. Instead, they decided that no, we're gonna keep people watching this thing for like days and days and days upon end, and then for their reward, they get to see the other things we should have showed at the E3 video packaging show that we just showed at the very top of this thing. They could have showed me a trailer and then showed the demo of said trailers and say, hey, this is what we just showed. In the Treehouse event, this is how it plays. And I would have been fine with that. But no, they waited until the end of the show with the Treehouse events to show these new trailers. I do not approve, Nintendo. Come on. If you want to win the show, you can't hold back. You gotta show all the cool things you have. Not in the middle of the Treehouse event between DLC of Zelda, which is out already, which is good, and Mario Odyssey, which I know is going to be good, and I don't need to see like a whole playthrough of a stage of that, because that may ruin the fun for me, because I like to be surprised about that sort of thing. Nintendo, you were so close, Nintendo. You were so close, but you did the problem. You did the thing. You did it just like PlayStation, and I couldn't let that slide. And you didn't have to do it like PlayStation. You could throw all the games that are coming out soon, if not next year, in the show, and you would have taken it. But hey, no one's perfect. That includes Nintendo. And no matter my own personal preference, none of these games for Nintendo are going to be bad. I'm sure they're going to be fine and awesome and wonderful. I just wish they would have thought that out just a little more. But because they didn't, Microsoft won. The Xbox One X is coming soon, plus their titles are going to be amazing, I'm sure. Everyone give them a round of applause, because they pimped out that show pretty good, and I cannot wait to get my hands on these games I've seen from various companies, both Nintendo and Xbox and all the rest, for my own gaming library in the future. But until then, starting next week, we're gonna do the games of E3, where I highlight some of my favorites that we've seen in the show, to show what the best ones to aim for and hope for and save for and pre-order for, so you don't miss out on good quality. But until then, this is One Charming Gamer Boss Ron's telling you to once again stay tuned for the next Video Game Armada transmission. Thanks again for watching and dealing with all my nonsense. Take care.